In this video, you'll learn how to build an assessment, such as a quiz or test, in Alta, Knewton's fully integrated adaptive learning platform. Assessments formally assess student mastery of material with non-adaptive questions that you individually select based on the learning objectives. To begin, choose whether you'd like to create this assessment in the parent course or in a child section. If you make an assessment in the parent course, it will populate to all child sections. If you want the assessment to go only to an individual child section, enter that section first and follow the same instructions. To add your assessment to the parent course, click into the chosen course. If this is the first item you are adding, click Get Started. Otherwise, click Manage to modify your course outline. Next, in your course outline, click Add. Then select Assessment. Type in a name for your assessment. Next, fill in your start date and start time, as well as due date and due time. Then select whether you would like to label this a test or a quiz. Then click Next. To begin building your assessment, at the bottom, you can choose to add an Alta question, and these are questions authored by Knewton, or add a custom question if you'd like to build your own questions. In this case, we'll click Add Alta Question. Before you select your objectives, let's choose our question preferences. Under Preferences, you can choose whether you would like to include static or pool questions by default. Also, you will be able to choose whether you'd like to include 1 or 2 questions per objective by default. You can add more questions per objective in a later screen if desired. Once you have made your changes, click Apply to finalize your choices. You can then start searching and selecting your objectives that you'd like to include in your assessment. You can search for objectives by expanding the chapters right here, or you can use the search functionality on the top. To select your objectives, just check the boxes on the left. If you'd like to include all the objectives within a topic, select the topic, and all objectives will be selected. Otherwise, check the boxes or uncheck the boxes you would like to include or exclude from your assessment. When selecting your objectives, you can also use filters to see specific objectives. Assignment usage will display objectives already assigned or unassigned in adaptive assignments. Assessment usage will show the objectives already tested or untested in other assessments. Selection will show objectives already selected or not selected for the assessment being built. Once you choose your filter, click the Apply button. When you have selected your objectives and preferences, choose Done when you're ready to move on. On the next page, you can preview your assessment to see it as students will, or you can choose Edit to change the objectives you've added to the assessment. You can also see information about the questions you've added from the tags in the top right corner of the question, including whether the question is compatible with printing, such as offline tests, whether it's compatible with lockdown browser, as well as whether the question is static or pool. On the left, you can also weight the number of points each question is worth by clicking on the point value displayed at the top of each question card. Just set your points and then click Save. The total point value of the test will be calculated at the top of the test. Students will also see how many points each question is worth when taking the assessment and reviewing their scores. To add additional questions per objective, click the 3 dots next to the question and then Edit Questions. From this page, you can add additional questions by clicking Add, or you can remove questions by clicking Remove. Choose Done when you're happy with the included questions as part of this objective. Navigate to the settings on the top right to choose the in-depth settings on your assessment. Here you can change the name of the assessment, as well as the due, date, and time. You can also enable the Review Center, password protection, lockdown browser, a timer, as well as shuffling the order of questions. If you would like to allow students to take this assessment multiple times, you can check Allow multiple attempts and set the attempt limit. Once you have selected your settings, click Save at the bottom of the page to finalize your choices. You will now see the assessment added to your course outline. To edit the assessment, click the three dots to the right of the assessment and then click Edit. That is how you create an assessment in Alta.